Hello, everyone, and welcome to Smalltalk. This is the Smallville retrospective podcast here on the channel. I'm one third of your co-host. My name is Ryan Cam. Thank you all so much for tuning in. And, well, season 9 is continuing apace, and, well, we got one good episode, one episode that I like, but I don't think a certain someone liked it very much, and one that's just very weird. Do you want to know how weird these string of three episodes is? My favorite episode has Red K. Clark in it, and you all know how much I love that guy. But we'll get to that. But first up, from 3D Movie Cinema is Jacob Collins. Jacob, how are you?
Well, I feel like shit, I'm just angry, bitter. As I was telling you guys on camera, I am just today's the worst day ever. Not only that, we lost one of the greatest icons of all time, and we literally, the Shrek teaser dropped, and look at that awful piece of shit. And then on top of that, then on top of that, McFarlane Toys is no longer making DC products instead of fucking Mattel is, which is like I told these guys, it's like going from Coca-Cola to RC Cola. And people, I'm like, it's like, and then Matt's like, yeah, the 10%. And then Ryan goes, yeah, people like RC Cola though. And then Matt goes, yeah, the 10% of the people that do, 10% of people in the world like RC Cola.
Me in the future, when you're editing this, put in the opening notes of Break Stuff by Limp Bizkit.
It's just one of those days.
Matt Wyatt, how are you?
Yeah, and it is a devastating day that they found out that Gene Hackman, the legendary actor, passed away. The man who played Lex Luthor in a lot, and he got an Academy Award, not wins, especially Unforgiven with Clint Eastwood. Yeah, there's a lot of suspicious going on with the cause of his death and his wife and his dog, which that was completely outrageous. And conveniently that you dropped the Road to James Gunn's Superman movie where we covered Superman the movie from the 1978 on the same day of his passing. And the Shrek promo, I didn't mind it, but I don't think it's the best. It's just a promo. It's not really the actual footage of the movie. So in my defense, I
Just the
don't really mind it.
redesigns is what really made everybody upset. The
Yeah, and
redesign.
yeah, but the thing is that Shrek and Fiona, those characters are older now. They've aged out, dude. It's
Yeah,
been some
I just
time.
like the design. Like they could. I don't mind aging them up, but like they redesigned the animation of it, which is
Yeah.
like
I mean, I kind of was expecting that they would go for that more of the animated portrait painting animation like they did with
Puss
Puss
in
in Boots: The
Boots.
Last Wish and The Wild Robot. That would have been cool if they changed that up a bit.
Here we are, like Gene Hackman, one of the all-timers. Like Superman's been mentioned, obviously. Unforgiven's been mentioned. I'll throw Hoosiers in there as well. I love Hoosiers so much, and I also love The Replacements with where Keanu Reeves plays a quarterback of a. It's not the NFL, but we're gonna treat it like it's the NFL anyway. But watch the
Did you also see Mississippi Burning? Have you
That's a
with Willem
great
Dafoe?
movie. He's
That was
so
so it's very difficult to
dumb.
watch, but it's a great movie between Willem
Yes,
Dafoe and
I
Gene
was gonna
Hackman.
say that
That was
Mississippi
such an underrated movie. And another film he did with
Enemy of the
Denzel
State.
Washington with Tony Scott, Crimson Tide.
Oh, Crimson Tide. Yeah,
Yeah, he also did that movie, which that movie was amazing. And then
yeah.
he did with Will Smith with Enemy of the
Enemy of
State.
the State. I love
Yeah,
that movie. I was gonna mention Enemy of the State. That is the one that I love watching
which
so
that was supposed
much.
to be Tony Scott movies that he worked with Gene Hackman in those movies.
Yeah, Tony Scott directed it against that. Yeah, yeah, you know what? I love that movie, and I think he's so good in that movie. There's one movie he did also like that me and Ryan kind of have a love-hate relationship with, The
Hmm.
Royal Tenenbaums.
Ugh,
What's
God,
that?
that movie's
I
terrible.
don't think I've never seen it.
So
I like it, but I don't love it.
Matt, let me give you the skinny. It was directed by Wes Anderson. It's about this big old family and they hate the patriarch who is played by Gene Hackman. And there's a subplot in which Luke Wilson is one of the younger brothers and Gwyneth Paltrow, who is his adopted sister, he being Luke Wilson's character falls in love with the sister, the adopted sister. And when he realizes that he'll never be able to have her as his own, he nearly ends it
He
all.
unalives himself.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, and I said in my review that I cannot personally endorse or give credit to a movie that A goes down the cest
The dark
route
ass rap song.
and then also at the same breath does something like self-harm and suicide. So no, I personally do not care for that movie. Me going through that whole Wes Anderson series kind of broke me on him, and I'm saying like whenever he does something animated, it's awesome, and the rest of the time it's pretty good at best, that being
It's fucking weird.
Moonrise Kingdom being the best, and then everything else is just weird or creepy or both.
What is like he
Hmm.
does a lot of weird stuff, like a lot of child love stories and that. And I'm like, what the fuck is up with that? Especially like Rushmore, you're just it's like a minor in love with an adult, and then on top of that, then you get a movie like Moonrise Kingdom, where it's like two children that are in love with each other that want to go off and get married. And you're just like, these are some weird topics, West. Okay, like West, what are you trying to say? It's like that one thing of like it's a little sus, West.
What do you mean by that?
Not saying, not trying to make a connection. I'm just saying, Wes, why is it you like to make stories with children? I was like that in that certain topic. Just
People
saying,
like
what
to
is
make into a meme Alfred Hitchcock really liking blonde women. Well, that debate absolutely ceases when people defend Wes Anderson and his movies in the same breath. So let's try and unpack some of the stuff that he's like referenced and talked about. But we're getting way off target and way off task here.
go back to
Let's
Gene Hackman?
Yeah, rest in peace, Gene Hackman. He will be missed sorely. Royal Tenenbaum sucks. But
Fuck.
let's get into this episode, though. And if you like the video, leave a like, subscribe, do the thing. We would greatly appreciate it. Let us get into season 9, episode 16, called Checkmate.
It's time for a new game.
Oliver wasn't even our real target.
Then who was? You're after everyone who's ever worked at Watchtower.
You left your greatest asset vulnerable. It's your move.
Smallville. All new episode next Friday at 8/7 Central.
Tess creates an elaborate hoax in order to kidnap Oliver and delivers him to the shady head of the secret society checkmate, Amanda Waller, who tells him that the government is recruiting him to save his country. However, Green Arrow escapes before they can learn his identity. After Oliver brings Clark and Chloe up to speed on what happened to him, the three investigate, and Clark is surprised to find John Jones investigating Oliver's kidnapping too. Clark senses that John is keeping information from him. Oliver and Clark are shocked when Tess reveals that Amanda is after something called Watchtower, which is Chloe's code name in the Justice League. When Chloe is captured by Checkmate agents, Waller threatens to kill Chloe unless Clark gives her the names and locations of the rest of the Justice League. So I thought this episode was okay. It wasn't like all-timer, but I still enjoyed it. But Collins hates this episode, so and
Because
he's
he's a
the
hater, dude. He's such a
I'm
hater,
not just
dude.
that. There are certain things in this episode I like, but then most episodes I'm like, this is fucking pointless. I'm just like, it feels like almost like they're just like, hey, it feels like all right, let me explain. It feels like you remember in season 8 how they had like okay the Doomsday storyline was the main storyline, okay, but
Hmm.
then they had to throw in they throw in Lana, then they got to throw in Lex being alive, then they got to throw in Brainiac. It feels like that's what they're doing is like and they're trying to have the Zod storyline, but then they're like, well, we got a couple of episodes, so let's try to throw in a checkmate episode. Let's try to throw Maxwell Lord in, and let's try to throw in Waller, and I'm just like we don't really need these storylines. Like, I mean, in season 10, you could do this because you have, your villain in season 10 is basically non-existent. Versus in this season, where your villain is like in almost every episode, and you could literally do that in season 10, but you can't do it here because you have like the upgrade made sense because it feels like it follows in the line of the story. This episode just feels like they're going off topic to just try to go and do something different.
I'm gonna have to be on the opposite side with you that I thought it definitely fit into what's going on with the main story with the Kandorians and Zod because of the discovery of the alien DNA that Lois sent to Amanda Waller, the blood sample. She knew that there's an alien and she's preparing for the imminent threat. And that's has much more to do with the Kandorians, not something that happened with the JSA. That one's already past that revolved to that storyline. This one's getting into what the main story is.
If you were to take out the whole storyline of Checkmate, it would not change the plot at all.
Yeah, true. I mean, yeah, you're right about that, but I didn't mind it.
Also, when next week, okay, because next week's the last 2 episodes before the finale.
Hmm.
Next week, I want to say something, but I'm like, I can't because that's a spoiler. But I'm just going to say, when we get to next week, then I'm going to add on to what I'm going to say. But, like, I think, honestly, it feels like the story is useless when you get to after next week. It'll feel like it's useless. The whole checkmate stuff was useless. And you know what I'm talking about, Matt.
Hmm.
After the episode before the finale, doesn't
Yeah.
feel like it's kind of useless after that point, the whole storyline, because it kind of goes
We'll
nowhere.
we'll get into it. I'll
Yeah.
because I have to watch those other two episodes for prepping for next week and get into this whole debate thing.
But that's what I'm saying. I can't really say because it's like we
We can't
haven't got
spoil.
to
We
the
can't
two
say
episodes.
anything.
Yeah, it's like we
Ryan
haven't
has
got.
not seen it. We can't ruin it for him.
Yeah. But yeah, I didn't like the whole chat. But I did like some things. There are things I will say. I did make some notes of stuff I did like. Like I thought the Oliver's line that you got the wrong Green Arrow. I don't remember signing up for Chess Club. I thought that was funny.
That was
That
funny.
was that
And the
was
one thing
good.
that was kind of dumb, you know what? The one thing that I did not like in the episode, how he's able to break out so easily that no one able to frisk him. No one, not even Tess himself or herself. I mean,
I had this in my notes, but was Tess like undercover? Oh yeah, okay. I
yeah,
had this in my notes. Zach, the whole fucking episode is
that
very
was such a
unfair.
slow-mo. The slow-mo sequence when she
Everything.
was going
She's
to the
like,
panic room and she's fighting those goons as a stage thing, and they did it in slow-mo. I feel like they took notes from Zack Snyder, and it was so stupid. I will
it was
admit that was a corny ass scene I have ever watched.
Yeah, the
Like what
only
it feels like they watched Zack Snyder's
Like it's only the
Watchmen
watch
and
300 and
300.
said that's how we make it.
That's how we got to do this.
the only thing that was missing was weird mustacheless Henry Cavill slowly and menacingly turning to his right, noticing that the Flash is running by him.
Remember in the episode where so they have Chloe and they're about to execute Chloe, and Clark just goes it's just slow motion. It's just they're like, what? I started laughing. You're like, what the fuck
But
is
from what
this?
piggyback on that scene from the Justice League, as what Ryan would brought up, that was actually Zack Snyder's shot in the movie when he was turning around and seeing him in slow mo.
Yeah, that
That
was a
was
Zack
actually
Snyder shot,
Zack's
not a Whedon
shot.
shot. That was a
That was
Snyder.
not Whedon's shot, dude. That was definitely Zack's shot.
Whedon. I mean, like, look, it looks much better. That shot is much better than the shot we have in the
Yeah,
freaking this episode.
yeah, I agree. Oh yeah, that was a cheap ass slow mo,
There is
unnecessary
so
too.
much slow
That was so
motion in this episode.
unnecessary.
Tess escaping down a hatchet.
She has her own panic room, and Clark uses his X-ray vision, and apparently she's packing fucking arsenal.
She literally slides down and it's all done in slow motion. I'm just like, what the hell did he
She made a
just do?
she literally made a panic room in the fucking office of the Daily Planet.
And
What
then
the
she
hell?
doesn't work there in the next episode. I'm just like, they retcon that shit, or the third episode we watched. They retcon said, oh, she gets test pros doesn't work here anymore. And I'm just like, I don't remember. I watched 2 episodes ago. The bitch was literally
A little bit of a retcon, I will agree, for continuity issues. Or maybe
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know how that happened.
I don't know. I just thought the slow motion stuff made me laugh so hard because I'm just like,
Hmm.
like they just watched 300 and watched me. We're
She
like,
and the wig in Tessa's wig.
we're gonna.
Come on. Can that be so on the nose, really?
Remember in season 7,
How
Lana's
bad that
wig?
wig looked.
Remember in season 7, Lana's wig, where Lana was wearing that blonde wig? She's
Yeah,
walking
yeah,
down in Hong Kong.
Oh yeah. It feels like they took some lot of resemblance of that wig, except instead of being blonde, it's jet black.
Like Tess looks like she belongs in like next to one of the greasers or something from Greece.
Or she looks like she belongs in Ariana Flex
Oh,
or Ultraviolet.
Oh no,
or yeah,
not
or
Ultraviolet.
ultraviolet. Yeah, that's the one.
Just that's a deep cut.
It
Remember,
feels
like,
like it felt like she was in a
wait,
different action movie, dude.
like which you know what I will say. All right, I'm gonna say the positive. We're just shifting, but there are things that was positive. Okay, I do like John Jones going into a cop's mind, killing him. Like John Jones had a significant role in this episode. And I like that he's on a revenge quest against Checkmate. I thought that was a good idea. I like that.
Yeah, and because he was all about like taking it into his own hands to keep the team out of it, especially Clark, and not getting him involved with Checkmate.
Yeah, what was he after? I keep forgetting. What was he
Well,
after?
no, he was after the location that Amanda Waller's at.
Because he was like zapping something. Like, I
Yeah,
thought it was like,
he was zapping the blood sample, the General Zod's like blood sample that Lois gave to her like in other
oh,
episode.
okay,
Remember when Zod got shot and she was near him and she took the blood sample?
okay.
Yeah, I
Oh,
was wondering. Yeah, because I had to look back on it and like Lois was responsible for kind of letting Amanda Waller know there's aliens among us because after the whole incident with this one dude with this whole conspiracy the shenanigan, yeah, that's where it all started.
yeah. I did also like Pam Grier as Amanda Waller. I thought she was really good as Amanda Waller. I
Hmm.
thought she was.
She got a little bit feisty between with Clark in that scene. I can't have my cake in 82. Like, damn, she's going a little dark side there, and she was willing to kill Chloe to
I
make sure
know,
she gets all the information for the rest of the league.
like, I know you guys can't tell me, but I just, I wish that, like, there was, like, more done with her because Pam Grier is awesome.
She
And so,
is.
and I like, and I know probably because this is the penultimate season, there's not much done with her after this, but it would be a shame if, like, say in another dimension, there is, like, I don't know, so, like a different kind of DC show, and Amanda Waller was in it. I'd want her to play it.
What'd you think? What'd you guys think about Oliver Tess figuring out Oliver's secret when she? I like that scene. I
Oh yeah,
thought
the black on like the black on like black versus black don't work, whatever that he was referring to. That and she put
yes.
two and two together.
She's like
Yeah, at
Green
first
Arrow.
I didn't think about that at first. Like many
I
times I
legit
watched that
forgot
episode, I
she
was
didn't know. I
like,
forgot she
did I
didn't know.
miss something? How the hell she was able to put two and two together? And then I had watched it today, and in the beginning he referenced like, oh, black on black versus black,
It's kind of like the
black
scene in
outfit
Batman
thing.
Returns when Batman and Catwoman say their lines backwards to each other, like how Batman said a kiss, a mistletoe can be deadly, and then Catwoman says a kiss can be any deadlier, and then and then
Mm,
realize that
yeah,
Catwoman
yeah.
said that, and he's I like that idea. I like that. They kind of play on like that. Kind of like a she's like Green Arrow, which I thought that was a cool scene. I like that scene. I honestly, I legit forgot that she did not know he was Green Arrow. I thought she knew. I was like,
I
I thought
thought,
she, yeah, I thought the same thing too. Like, did she already know?
I mean, these two have slept together on a couple of occasions. Like,
And she still hadn't figured that out that he's Green Arrow by now.
once again, Tess is not exactly the sharpest knife in the drawer.
You were able to put two and two together with Clark, but you still couldn't figure out that Oliver Queen's the Green
a
Arrow.
guy who is literally a guy you investigated, who is literally one of
Dude,
your
you literally
brothers
saw him
and
naked.
enemies.
You literally slept together like on many occasions, and you still couldn't figure that out.
Wow, your penis is just like the Green Arrow. No.
Wait a minute.
I will say I love
Wait a minute.
the tights joke that Chloe did and Tess did that he was wearing tights and like they're not tights. I like that. That was pretty funny.
It's like, I'm just saying, no, never. I was gonna say, what I'm gonna say. You know what? I said, Tess is literally, I said, she's probably the most sexually active girl in the show because she slept with Oliver, then she slept with Zod, and so,
Hmm.
and I can't say what, but I'm
But
saying,
you know that Tess is literally playing both sides with Checkmate and then with Zod. Like, what the hell side is she really on? She's literally an opportunist. And
I
also,
know,
I love when it was interesting that. Well, I love the part when Clark goes a little bit dark side and tries to threaten her by pushing her off the rooftop to get the information out of her
yeah,
from Checkmate.
I
I
thought
was
that was
like, damn,
crazy.
yeah, that he went a little bit of a red kryptonite vibe there in that episode.
Yeah, but we had to wait till the next episode. That's probably where the writers
Well,
were
wait
like,
until you
what we
see
should
the
do?
next episode.
Yeah. Also, did you? I like the knife fight, but when she pulls out a bigger knife and Oliver pulls out a small knife and looks and he's like, I thought that was such
Like,
a
Tess, this
Oliver
is real
Queen
life,
moment.
not a loony, not a cartoon.
He pulls out like one of those letter openers, and then he pulls out a knife, and he's like, I'm like, that is such an Oliver Queen moment from the comics. Like he's like the bad guy pulls out a letter opener, you pull out a smaller knife, and you're just like, well, shit. Which I mean, which I also like. Martian Manhunter tricking the guard to pretend to be Waller. I thought that was
Hmm.
really great. I
Very
thought that was
smart.
awesome.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton.
I just thought that was like, in X-Men 2, how William Stryker,
Oh,
Steve
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Stryker, and she goes, we gotta go. They could be anyone. And he goes, anyone. And she
Yeah, and he took out the
said,
guards. Yeah, and she took out the guards when she
I just
was like
reminded me of
disguising
that.
herself as William Stryker in X-Men 2.
Which, which, by the way, if you ever watched the bloopers, Brian Cox is having a field day with that role, where he even says, like, the line where he says, kill anybody that comes in this room, even if it's me. He says in the bloopers, kiss anybody that comes in this room,
I didn't
even
know.
if it's me.
I didn't know they had a bloopers in
Yeah,
that
they
for X-Men
have.
2. I didn't know
He
there was
was
a
having a
blooper reel.
field day with that role. He was having a fun field day.
I do love the sequence when there's strobe lights when they're on a lockdown in Checkmate's facility and Clark comes to the rescue. That sequence with that strobe light, boom, 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 in slow mo, but with freeze frame. I like that one. That was a pretty good sequence.
That was cool. Yeah.
That episode caused a lot of seizures that day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it caused a lot people who have epilepsy.
They're like, you imagine if someone had a
I
seizure
feel
watching.
bad for the people who watched that episode. That sucks for them.
Like, fuck you, Superman.
Did you know that every time you play a video game, they put up the warning label in the beginning before the game starts, and they're just like, "Hey, anyone who has warning, anyone who has epilepsy, don't play it," or whatever that it was. They always put the warning label.
I remember, you know what the weird thing is? I remember, like, used to when you go watch a movie, they never ever put signs. But now I remember the first time I saw a sign was when It Chapter 2 came out. There's a little, like, someone printed this out. Like, this is like someone just went on the computer and printed this out and taped it to the sign of the door that said, It Chapter 2 contains it said scenes that may cause seizures. Be warned. And I was like,
Have you? This reminded me though, especially like speaking of warning. Like, did you remember? Have you ever seen Blink Twice with Channing Tatum? Have you ever watched that movie yet?
I want to.
In
I
case
have
you
not.
haven't, in case you haven't watched it, in the theater when I saw that movie, they put out the warning of there might be scenes that are very difficult to watch that may trigger people victims. And I was like, wow, they really went there. And when you watch the movie through midpoint, holy shit, now you know, now I understand why they did it.
It makes you kind of not want to blink. Was it like Deliverance? What kind of thing that happened?
I don't
Don't
want to say much without revealing it. I can't
Yeah,
reveal that
don't
much.
spoil it. I want to
I
watch.
can't because you'll have to see it for yourself, and they'll literally show it to you before the movie starts.
Also, I do like at the end how Lois and Oliver have a heart. Not Lois and Oliver, but Lois and not. It's not Lois. It's and
Oliver
Oliver have a heart to
and
heart.
Tess, Oliver and
Yeah.
Tess
Like
moment.
at the end, they have a heart to heart. I thought that was a really great
They
scene.
sort of have a heart to heart, but then he was like, you know what? Don't if you go near me, I will expose you to the world. And she tries to go underground.
Yeah.
Even in the next two episodes, it's so full of contradiction with Tess. Like,
The whole
okay,
episode,
you're
like,
going
it
off grid, but
contradicts
you're not.
everything.
It's like, how can
No,
you go off grid but not go off grid?
It's like they're on. It's not. It's like the showrunners are not on the same page with the fucking writers of the show.
It's like, do they even know what to do
It's
with Tess anymore on the show?
Cassidy Freeman is a very
it's almost
talented actress, but I am
Yeah.
just like I'm getting tired of her.
She's kind of annoying me. I mean, I will say without revealing too much, later I kind of liked her it later in the episodes, without revealing it too much.
well, you
And
just said it already.
she's got more face and heel turns than the Big Show. And
But I do agree that at like season 9 she totally flip flops.
She's almost like in Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, Matt from
Yeah.
Kingdom of the Crystal
Oh
Skull.
yeah.
He's like,
The guy who was
he's
playing
betraying
like
Indy.
double, triple,
He's a double
quadruple
triple
agents.
agent.
so what are
And,
you
and Indy was like, "Hey, what are you
triple
doing?
agent?
What are you
Triple
what are you like a triple agent?"
No, I
That's
just
what
lied
she
about
reminds
being
me.
a double.
That was that was one of our biggest complaints of that movie. And as much as like I don't care, I enjoyed Crystal Skull, but I will say that one character annoyed the fuck out of me, and we can all agree he was the worst. Like, please kill him already.
Tess
Can't
is
make up his own
literally
mind.
in this
Like he's always
season.
flip flopping different sides with the
It's not-
Russian, and then he switches sides to fucking Indy. Like, what are we doing?
Tess is literally this season the triple agent. She's like, "Are
She's
you
literally
a
the triple
snitch?
agent.
I'm helping you, but I'm helping Zod, but then I'm helping you, Chloe." And you're just like, "Okay, what the fuck?" All right, what's going on? Okay, you're either helping me, you're helping Zod, and you're also helping Chloe. Make up your pick a lane and
I
follow
swear to
it,
God,
Tess.
I think she may have bipolar.
She's like that one she's like that one episode of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when they go to the racetrack, the horse racetrack, and Hillary bets on all the horses, and she's like, regardless, I still win. I was like, that's not how betting works, Hillary, but I digress.
You're basically gonna win half your money. You're only gonna win a small portion of your money back.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, just really, it's like Tess is like, I can bet on every horse, but guess what? At least one's gonna win. Yes, and if the wrong one wins, they're gonna. If the wrong person wins, they're gonna kill you probably for betraying.
exactly.
But yeah, yeah, but I really yeah, but this that's the only thing I just think that Tess is. I liked her as an actress, love the actress. Just the character is really annoying this season because it's like every freaking move she makes is contradicting herself from the last episode. It's like one episode she's like, "I love you, Clark. You're awesome. I'm like your buddy." And then
It's like, hey,
next
I'm gonna
episode,
be your
she's
buddy. I'm on your
so
side. And
evil.
then she switches over to Zod and she sleeps with him, and now she's playing with checkmate. Like, what the fuck is
And
happening?
then the one episode she's playing with Chloe, and the next episode you're just like, what the hell is up
Yeah,
with
and as
them?
I had
What are
brought
they
it up,
doing with
as
them?
I mentioned, I said it before, and I'll say it again. Like she says she's gonna go off grid, and then in the next two episodes, she completely contradicts. It's like, how
I
can you
saw her. I'm
like,
like, you. That's
like
not very
you
off
say, hey, I'm
grid.
gonna go off grid, but I'm not gonna go off grid. What the fuck's that even mean?
Like the
It's basically like
showrunners.
she's like Jay Leno when Jay Leno said he's going to retire from the Tonight Show, and then she just he sticks around for the Tonight Show, and then says, "You know what? I'm going to come back. Conan, get out of here."
Or like Leonardo DiCaprio from The Wolf of Wall Street. I'm not leaving. I'm not fucking leaving.
It's like the showrunners had like this big old Price is Right wheel. It's like, all right, what's Tessa's motivation this week? Brrr.
The price is wrong, bitch.
She's mildly horny. All right, let's write that.
It's like Cassidy Freeman. I would just hold it back for.
Which Cassidy
She's
Freeman was
like,
in a latest new
did
show
last
called
week we did this
Paradise.
like you know, she's in
She's
that show.
also in the Righteous Gemstones, which is just about to
Yeah.
start their final
I
season.
need to
Which
start
which
watching
I've
that.
watched like 7 episodes of Paradise on Hulu. I say
Is it
you should
good?
it's amazing. Especially the latest episode with episode 7, and we're about to go into the finale. And episode 7 is the best episode of the season, period. I'm really hooked by the show.
Everybody keeps
I
telling me
highly
you
recommend
watch
it.
like what's Yellowstone. Everybody keeps telling me I keep watching Landman. Everybody keeps telling me my dad loves
Oh,
Landman.
I got it.
You should.
There was one of the show that I've been wanting to watch was the Yellowstone, and I wanted to check out the latest show on Paramount Plus. That is what you brought up, Landmine or something. I have
Landman. It's about oil
Landman. Yeah,
rigs.
that's the one. Yeah, with Billy Bob Thornton. That's another show I gotta
Yeah,
watch.
everybody keeps saying it is like the best show on television
Oh
right now.
yeah, I've heard a lot of great things, and they're really advertising the shit out of it. But I will say that Paradise is definitely an incredible new show that came out, and they greenlit season 2 as they were still airing the show for Hulu.
It's uh it's Taylor Sheridan. You can't go wrong.
Well,
But
I mean, have you seen that movie with Angelina Jolie, Those Who Wish Me Dead?
I liked it.
I thought it was fine, but I was like, well, like it feels like two different stories merged into one. Like you have an assassin story, then you have a fire story, and it's like one of these things is not like the other.
I mean, he also wrote the screenplay for Sicario, so that's not nothing.
Oh yeah, which Denis Villeneuve directed. It's Sicario, which I love Sicario.
And then Sheridan also directed, or not directed, but wrote the screenplay for Hell or High Water, which is
I thought he did direct that movie. I
oh,
thought he did. He didn't?
hang on.
Maybe you're right. Yeah, you're probably right. I must have missed
Oh,
it.
and by the way, I just want to say one thing about Those Who Wish Me Dead. Nicholas Hoult though is amazing in that as the villain. Him and like the
Yeah,
guy
yeah,
from Game of
you're right.
Thrones are Nicholas Hoult. By the way, if you ever have any questions if he can be an evil Lex Luthor, watch him in Those Who Wish Me Dead. He's so good in that movie.
So,
So Hell or High Water director was David Mackenzie. So yeah, you're right. That it was someone else.
I just forgot Tyler Perry's in that movie.
oh, he
Tyler
is in
Perry's
that
like
movie. Oh, he is. But
Tyler Perry's like an like their boss like that says you need to kill this like kids this
Oh,
kids.
you're talking about those for Wish Me. Yeah, yeah. It was a one that came out at day-to-day streaming on HBO Max at the
It
time.
got butchered because
Yeah,
of that.
and I have not watched that movie yet, but I know it's still streaming on Max.
um,
And John Berthel's supposed to be in the film.
he's
Yeah,
good.
Yeah.
and you got the
You know sad?
little finger from Game of Thrones. Is what movie is he not in that plays the same character?
He's also in the Mayor of Kingstown, I believe. Is that Mayor of Kingstown?
Yep,
Uh,
with Jeremy
which
Renner.
I know
Or
I
is
gotta
it, or
watch
is it
that
that
show too.
Tulsa
That's
King?
a
It's
Mayor
one of those
Kingstown. I keep
shows.
forgetting to watch that show.
Well, back
My
to
aunt loves it.
Smallville. Let's wrap up our thoughts on this one, Jacob, 1 to 10.
5 out of 10.
All right, Matt.
I'm I didn't dislike this episode as much as Jake, so I'm gonna give it a 7. The one scene that I thought that stood out to me the most was Martian Manhunter was John Jones giving Clark the pep talk that you're meant to bridge the gap between both sides and that he's made for more than this. And I thought that was a great scene that stood out to me. So yeah, it's a 7. I don't care.
I'm gonna split the uprights. I'm gonna go 6. It's not a horrible episode, but it's not a great episode. It's fine for what it is, but I just wish we got more Pam Grier because I mean she's awesome. But
Well, you know
let's
what, Matt, right. I'm gonna do one for you. Okay, 5 out of 10 with a Pam Grier symbol emoji.
be careful what you wish for. But
Oh, Pam Grier
let's
emoji's gonna be a
let's get into season 9, episode 17 called Upgrade.
God damn it!
Zod continues to pose as the Blur and asks Lois to investigate one of Tess's secret labs. An explosion rocks the lab, and Lois is rescued by John Corbin, who was a subject of multiple experiments. While investigating the explosion, Clark is exposed to red kryptonite. Yippee. An infected Clark takes Zod to the fortress. Tess turns to Chloe for help, and they send in Corbin to stop Clark from revealing all his secrets. So you all have to understand, I do not like Red K Kryptonite.
I
And I
love
You
do
him.
don't like
not
the
like
Red K Clark. You don't like the bad boy. Goes
no,
He's a
bad.
bad boy. He's a
He's a
bad boy.
bad
none
boy.
none whatsoever. So
Bad
believe me
Clark.
when I say this was my favorite episode of the three, even with Red K Kryptonite, I still liked this.
I mean, it was Metallo. You brought Metallo back, which I know you liked Metallo.
Which I'm
so,
happy that
okay.
they brought Metallo back, even though it was technically like a Metallo sequel, but it definitely fit in well with the main story and how they evolved a little bit more with John Corbin. Now he's slowly
I
getting
just wish they would have like. I
back
hated
to
that
being himself, and now he's looking for Lois's help to help
when
him
they brought him
escape.
back, I was kind of bummed he wasn't a villain because I'm like, oh, he's gonna seek vengeance, and then it's like, but I understand. I liked it because you know what? He's the hero of the story, and Clark is the villain of the story.
Yeah, they kind of flipped the script a little bit. I mean, that he would have been very useful if Zod were to start a war, which it was inevitable, it's going to happen at some point. He would have been a great asset to the team because he can definitely kill them without thinking twice. He is powerful. Then these Kryptonians, he's their Achilles heel.
Like that whole fight sequence. I mean, I don't know, Brian, if you like that fight sequence. Him and Zod attacking Metallo, and then Metallo's just full.
Yeah, they're doing a little,
ice.
Zod and Clark are doing a little tag team match in the fortress.
Like even Evil Clark when he was sitting there when he sees like he sees like he's frozen and then he started he knew with the second that heart started beating again with the kryptonite he goes like oh shit like
That's when he knew he fucked up. He fucked up that big time.
Love seeing kind of like Metallo and Clark and the roles being reversed. And I know Clark is on the red kryptonite, so it's not the same, but like in the Metallo episode, you saw like good versus bad, and now it's opposite. I loved that. I love the spirit of that.
But I will say that he even admit that it was not all Red K because Red K just affects him for his deepest desires, what he has deep down in his heart, that he wants to find someone to share like a Kryptonian, like the life that share it with his own kind. Because he never had that in his life. And I thought that him having a little bit of the bromance moment with Zod, I thought that was pretty good.
I mean didn't he tell Zod too that like Zod destroyed Krypton?
Oh no, that was Jarrell. Jarrell told him what was going to happen next when he had him interrogated.
Okay, yeah, you're right. I was just wondering something like I think doesn't Zod know by this point that it's his
No, he
race?
knew. He knew by that point because it was coming from Jarrell.
Which I did. The only thing is I hated this thing. The only thing like the Sears Tower when after they made it snow.
Yeah, that
And
was
then you
yeah, that
just
was the
see, like,
that was in
picture.
Seattle. That was so stupid.
That picture, I'm just like, and you could tell they did not.
That
know
was a
Tom
high
Welling
fucking
did not
resolution of a
know.
spy cam that goes up close in
That's an
4K
issue I had.
HD resolution. Like what
Even
is going on?
even when this episode was released in
2009.
2010, which was 15 entire years ago, like even then the technology wasn't good enough to make it look that good.
Unless
And
you want to go
Iron
far
Man 2
beyond.
came out.
Unless
Iron
you're
Man
trying to
2.
unless you're trying to do the MCU style where the technology is far
Iron
more
Man
ahead of
2
its
came
time.
out, and they were doing. Remember the scene in Iron Man 2 at the beginning where they were at the court hearing, and they were showing drones in like
Yeah.
Afghanistan and North Korea. They even had to do it like okay, like realistically. They're like, hey, look, we can't see these pictures. Even I was looking like I can't see shit on that monitor, but I'm like, that's a more realistic thing.
I mean, until Tony hacked in and saw the
yeah.
footage.
Then you got like a fictional version of that. Yeah, but I was like,
the
Here's
fictional
North
technology
Korea.
on his tablet. I believe it's North
Here's
Korea.
Iran. And not really making progress. Is that Justin Hammer? Like, I love that
right,
scene.
Justin, you're on
right
TV.
set up, right. Oh shit! Oh shit! He's
Oh
like,
shit! Oh shit!
he goes, start. He said most countries 10 years away. Hammer Tech 20 years away. And he goes,
I would
to
like
point
the
out-
Hammer Industry
record
is
to
20.
reflect that that astronaut made a full recovery. That movie,
That pilot survived.
Yeah,
that movie's
pilot.
not good, but that whole scene was.
I
I
love Iron Man
laughed.
too.
I
love
laughed
Iron
watching
Man.
that.
Look, I love the first phase one.
Dude, this was during the
except
time when
for-
Paramount was able to claim the rights of CNN and Fox News and all that stuff. They were able to claim those news letter until Disney bought the rights to it, and now they don't have that anymore because Paramount, when they had the rights to those news outlets, especially with Transformers. Remember the Michael Bay Transformers shit when they had those rights?
They
Yeah.
actually said because they did not own Marvel. They said that they always got the shittier end of the release dates. They said that's why they put Transformers before Captain America because they said, "Oh, we own Transformers, we don't own Captain America." So they said we're going to give you the bottom barrel of the release date at the end of July, and they were kind of like, "Well, that's kind of shitty." I mean, like our movie is gonna,
Well,
it's
Captain
like,
America, the first Captain America movie was still labeled as Paramount, especially with the first Thor movie. The last one that were able to have the release date with Paramount, with under the distribute of Paramount, was Iron Man 3, and that was the last one.
yeah. Which I mean, to be fair, I don't really like Iron Man. That's my least favorite Iron Man
No,
movie.
it's
Yeah,
not.
no, but nobody cared. Nobody even remembers Iron Man 3, dude.
Like I like Iron Man 2. I like Iron Man 1 and 2. Or I love
I mean,
those
Iron
movies.
Man 2 was fine, but it's not that great. It's not as good as the first
Yeah,
movie.
I mean to be fair,
It's
but I still like it. But then Iron Man 3, I just feel like
It's called no, it's called Regular Man. That's what it's called. It's Regular Man.
Iron Depression.
it's a movie written and directed by Shane Black. Do I need to say any more?
Well, here's the thing. In my defense, like Shane Black
He
directed
has
a
written some
couple
good
of
movies,
banger
but he
movies.
wrote this is the same Shane Black that made The Predator, not the same Shane Black that made Lethal Weapon.
And not the same Shane Black that made The
And
Nice
Kiss
Guys and
Kiss.
Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Yeah.
Those two movies were amazing that he directed.
Nice
This
Guys
is
is
this
not that good.
I
what?
I think you've been
Hey,
smoking
you were
crack. I
smoking
don't know what
dope,
movie you were
Ryan.
watching. I would
Nice
love to
Guys is
know what
awesome.
movie did you watch because I would
Here,
love to know.
Here's that movie, Russell Crowe being fat and liking Yoo-Hoo and Ryan Gosling being sad. That's
It's
it.
a it's a, it's
I
a it's a
think you've only
cop
watched
movie
the
like
abridged
Lethal
version.
Weapon. It's kind of like Lethal Weapon. It's the almost the exact same thing, but set in the 70s. And with like which it's a good movie. I like it.
Dude, their dynamic is golden. And both of them dramatic actors being in a comedy. Dude, they were great.
Although the first 10 minutes is kind of dumb. It's just a car crash and one's tents are just hanging. I'm just like, okay, all right, well, what are we doing here? Like, come on. But I will say I do like this episode though about how I do like when Lois comes in there and Lois is like, lying. HR didn't want to sell Henrietta because, like I said, Hank Wu, and he goes, HR didn't want to sell Henrietta. And then she goes like, and then of course the
Dude,
explosion and
she
all
was
that
able to
stuff. And
sneak into a fucking secrets facility with no sweat. Again,
What,
we already know. We already know they have shitty security. We know that. It's been
what
established from the start. There's no point in bitching about that.
security in Smallville is about as safe as coating your walls in your home with tissue paper. It's like, oh, hello, hi, what's
It's
for
like
dinner?
we got to turn on our suspenders because we need something to push the plot further.
it's like protecting yourself with tinfoil from a nuclear blast.
Good point. Yeah, turn to a baked potato.
I will say I did like Metallo coming back and Clark getting his red K, and I liked how he was just being an asshole to Chloe, and he's kept being more of an asshole
I
and
mean,
more of an
he was not like a much more like the bad boy, immature Red K. He's more mature, but he's still a dick at the same time. If that makes any sense.
I do like how Zod just helped him out and destroyed Metallo, and then the only thing he did was just make him naked, and then Metallo like, "Don't come in here, Lois." He goes, "Why?" And he
I'll
goes, "It's just covering his junk." Is the only thing. It's like a barrel, which I'm just like,
gotta
well,
add a
you
little bit of a humor moment with John Corbin.
honestly, I also like the Zod, and also Red Clark saying when woke up on wrong. I said Lois. He said, "I wish I didn't wake up on the wrong side of Lois." And I'm just like, "Oh damn,
He was like,
damn."
"Hey, like you were taking too long. I didn't have no reason to wait for you." Like, damn, snap.
Someone woke up on the
Ouch.
wrong side of the bed, more like on the wrong side of Lois. And I'm just like, "Well, damn." I was
Damn,
like,
bro.
like, it's like I didn't even know. She's like, "I don't even know what you and my cousin's sex life." And he goes,
Anyway, how's your sex life?
it's like, "Hi, Clark. How's your sex life?" I did not hit her. I
I
did
did not.
not.
I did not hit. So I did not. Oh, hi,
Oh, hi,
Clark.
Clark.
No, it's all secret. It's a top secret. Anyway, Clark,
You're
how's your
tearing
sex
me
life?
apart, Chloe. You're tearing me apart.
You're lying. I did not hit you.
It's lying. It's bullshit. I did not. I did not. Oh, hi,
My
Clark.
mom.
It's like,
What?
ah, man, the room version. Also, I think I think also Clark shooting his crest all over. Clark shooting his crest all over Watchtower. That's what I put as
Yeah,
my notes.
that got a little dark.
Clark
And
shooting.
yeah, because he found out that Chloe was stocking pile of kryptonite weapons, and he got a little too triggered. A little bit of a temper tantrum going on with their Duke. And I like the part when Zai was telling a little bit more about the scientists of religion of the Book of Rao, and that's how it's going to play a big part later in the season. I did like that moment. Like, hey, Jarrell hasn't told you everything, so don't be so equipped to think that you learned everything in the fortress.
I did really like Chloe knocking out Clovis with like she basically Ace Ventura, she Ace Ventura Lois. I don't know if you've seen Ace Ventura. There's a scene where he's trying to get the look at the ring. This guy running, so he gets like some thing, and then puts it on a rag, and then jumps on him and goes.
That scene is amazing, and then like he pulls up the hand and he's like, and then he walks away.
It's just like she basically Ace Ventura. He's like, go down, go down, go.
Like, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep.
Also, yeah, and also I like that the fight obviously between Metallo, Zod, and which Metallo knocks Zod across the damn fortress. He just goes like he just goes, and then of
Yeah,
course
he
like
knocks Zod out. Like, dude, like he's
That
they
that
could
whole
not take him on.
that whole fight was great. Like Metallo, there's not enough of him in this show. I wanted to see more of him.
Yeah, he's just more of a complex character that we can actually connect with, and not just like a generic fucking villain
Zack
villain of
Snyder
the
said
week.
he was going. Originally, the plan was before the studio made him do the Doomsday and stuff.
Yeah.
Metallo
They
was
originally
going to be,
wanted Metallo in the
he was
original.
going to actually kill Superman in it. It was actually going to be Metallo that kills
Mm.
Superman. But then, because he said Superman was always going to die in the draft, that was always planned. But they said the idea, because the Justice League was going to be his resurrection, so that was always
I mean,
planned. But
personally, I thought the death scene was a mistake, but I can forgive that after watching Zack Snyder's Justice League. But I mean, I just wish that direction didn't have to go so soon for his death, because I
I
feel like
mean,
they
you
should have
imagine
given him a
Metallo
little bit
though?
more.
Did you imagine
Besides,
Metallo doing it? Metallo?
yeah, but that would be weak. Like that would be such a cop out. Like,
You got killed by a security guard that fell on because the security guard that fell that was going to be Metallo. That was John Corbin originally, but then they changed it to Wally something
well,
because
he wasn't a security guard. He was just a guy who worked at
yeah,
Wayne Enterprises. He
yeah,
was one of his employees that got paralyzed,
yeah, he was
lost
gonna
his
be John
legs.
Corbin. In which Zack Snyder they had concept designs of like him flying on a glider and stuff, and with no legs. And I'm just like,
That's kind
how would that have worked?
You can't build a cybernetic legs of limb to have him run on.
Then you have to have fly around, which only Clark to shoot that thing down.
That's when you got to always question your creators. No matter how genius they may be, you always have to question it, no
Which
matter
I'm sure
what.
those are concepts. I'm sure.
Yeah, I know they're a
probably
concept and all, but
closer.
that's the whole point about collaboration. Like you can't just be surrounded by yes men, because look what happened with George Lucas from the prequels. Nobody could say no to him.
I mean, like, which I really think though with Snyder, I think what it was it was had this design.
I mean,
it was Chris
originally for
Terrio.
Justice League Part 3, the original draft that they were going to go with, they were going to have Bruce Wayne and Lois Lane pair up as a couple, and that was like, wait, that makes no sense.
That makes so much sense because it really
no, it does not. They would never had any on
no,
screen together,
it
and they
makes so
how
much
pair
sense.
up
It's
with.
like Oliver.
No, it would
and
not. It
Felicity
would
Smoke
make
getting
zero
together.
sense. It would go against.
I'm being sarcastic,
everything.
man. I'm saying it's like
I was like hoping you were fucking with me at this point.
It's like when Oliver and Felicity from Arrow got together. It made so much sense. It was no way. It's like it makes so much sense. It's like when in the Flash when Patty Spivey and the Flash got together. It made so much sense. It had no way was not canon at all. It's like it's almost like I honestly would rather have Batman and Wonder Woman get together than Batman and Lois Lane because I'm like
no, Batman and Wonder Woman would have made much more sense.
Yes. But obviously,
we saw that in Zack Snyder's Justice League when they had it on screen together more in this one than BVS, and them pairing up together. That I would have bought that a lot more, especially when they almost had them pairing up with Batman and Wonder Woman in the Justice League animated series.
I did like Zod giving his people his powers.
Oh yeah, that moment when he was given. No wait, I don't think that was the end of the upgrade episode. That was not the one. That was probably from the next episode.
Yeah, no, she gave it. No, because she cut.
No, I just literally watched the upgrade episode. It was not that scene. That was probably the next one. I guarantee it had to be the next scene.
Zod's not even in the next episode.
Or maybe it was not the charade, but I don't know. Maybe I missed it.
It's at the end of the episode. He cuts the thing. And
no, I remember that scene, but I just don't remember it being in the episode of Upgrade. Maybe I missed it. I'm gonna have to look again. Maybe you're probably right.
I was surprised Clark didn't hear Lois' conversation or even mention that there's no way they could have gotten the image of Clark and Zod on the Sears Tower.
That
You know,
that was yeah, but I'm surprised that she didn't catch Chloe in the act. Like, where the hell she go? She disappeared. She teleported.
they couldn't even get Terrence. By the way, they couldn't get Terrence stamps in this episode. It's like they're at the
Yeah, I
fortress.
know. I mean, that's the reason why you don't hear Jarrell's voice and is not present in the episode because they probably couldn't get him at the time to do the voice work.
It did make me laugh though, because I'm sure like when they took the picture of them both on the tower, it seems like they were just having a random conversation, and then someone on the set just took the picture and then said we could use this.
Yeah, that was just such a lazy technique, especially when Clark was just making the Seattle
It
snow. But I didn't
seems like him and
understand. I
Ashley
didn't
Collins were having a real
that part made no
conversation.
sense. Like, why are you making Seattle snow just to be a dick?
It's like that scene
Well,
in
I don't understand.
Superman. It's like the scene
Okay,
in
I did
Superman
watch the
3.
clip. I did watch the clip at the end of the episode of Upgrade, and you were right. You pointed that out. Yeah, when he was giving his blood to his own people, the
Yeah.
Kandorians. You're right. I messed up. I stand
See,
corrected.
fuck you. That's right. Oh.
All right, well, let's go to
But
ratings.
I just want to say one thing. You know the scene though when he makes it snow, Ryan.
Yeah.
It just reminds me of the scene though in Superman 3 whenever like Superman just to be a dick moves the Sears Tower and then like blows the torch out that's been running for days at the Olympics. It goes, and you're just like, it just reminded me of that. Like, I just think that's so funny. It just made me laugh because it's like it seems like they just read it. It's like, we're gonna make it snow to be a dick. Like,
You may kick
enjoy
my
your air
butt, but
conditioning,
it's going to be
asshole.
cold when you do it.
Ice. Chill, everyone. Chill.
Chill.
The Iceman comment.
Let's kick some ice. If I had to give this a rating, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10.
You really enjoyed this much.
I really did enjoy
Yeah.
this episode.
I'm definitely gonna give it an 8 out of 10. Not perfect, but I still loved it. It's the best of the 3 episodes. I really enjoyed it. I don't give a shit. I always love seeing Clark coming back to doing the Red K, even if it's only for a short amount of time.
And you got
I
Metallo
like it.
and Zod. All three of the best things I like about Smallville season 9 are in this episode. That's why I said 9 out of 10. I mean, it's
Okay, well, I'm going to side with Collins and go 9 out of 10. I really like it. Favorite of the three.
Okay, cool.
Not even Red K. Clark can spoil my enjoyment of this. But let's move on to our final episode this week. This is season 9, episode 18, and whatever this was supposed to be, it was a charade.
It's like they played a game of charades in the writer's room.
That
What sticks, guys?
I mean, they might.
That would not surprise me in the slightest.
Hello.
Our relationship puts you at risk. Goodbye, Lois.
Please give Clark a message next time you see him. I will burn this planet to the ground.
Although it was personal. With this, I just declared war.
We're sorry. Your call cannot be completed as dialed.
The new editor tells Clark and Lois only one of them may keep his or her job. They still collaborate, hoping a super scoop should change his mind. An apparent opportunity arises when Raymond Sachs, fired as DA for ordering a failed attempt on Lois's life, is spared prosecution and throws a nightclub celebration. Clark is warned by Chloe the Blur's secret is compromised by imposter Zod's contact with Lois. He discovers Maxwell Lord, a wealthy tycoon and checkmate king-level rogue. Enlists Sachs for a plan to identify the Blur, whom a delivery boy photographed, so he's captured like several people known to have seen him. This was weird. This was just a weird episode. I didn't care for it.
It's everywhere. This episode, like I said, it's like a game of charades. It's everywhere. You don't know what the hell.
It's a sequel. It's a sequel to Idol.
Well, I would also say it's a sequel to the Checkmate episode, because it feels like
it's sort of a sequel to Checkmate.
And it's also like its own thing, I guess, because
it's a silly episode of who's going to get the job and who will not.
I feel like this episode just feels like it feels like this is definition of a filler episode.
Mm-hmm.
This is like they didn't have nothing for this episode, so they're like, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do it. So like, but I did say the opening line of who Like, who looks like someone missed breakfast? Clark's line for Chloe when he says, "Looks like someone missed breakfast in bed with Ollie." That made me laugh. That made me
Mhm.
laugh.
Yeah, that was good.
Also, Lois in the bunny suit was pretty nice.
Oh,
Yeah,
come on. We're all simping on that, dude. Come
That
on.
was
that
awesome.
was
It's freaking Lois, bro.
that was that was honey right there. Erica Durant's
That
yes,
was icing on the cake.
pause. But
Also, Clark wanting to reveal his secret, but Lois telling him she wants to protect the blur, and that's the reason he doesn't want to. But I like that. It kind of reminded me of Spider-Man 2, how Peter wants to tell MJ so bad that he's Spider-Man, but he realizes realizes that he cannot do that because his enemies will come after her. And I feel like that is kind of a parallel to Spider-Man 2, where it's like Clark wants to tease the blur so bad, but he knows like his enemies will come after her. And this kind of does episode. Even though I don't like this episode, I feel like this episode does point to the fact that yes, because she knows who the blur is, her life is in danger. So it kind of does justify Clark's motivation for not telling her. DA working for Max. I thought that was interesting. Clark smashing his face through the glass, like with all the pictures. I thought that was pretty cool, like that image
That's
shot.
such a high resolution from a video game cutscene from a fucking video game that you can
I
create
thought it
your own
was
characters. That almost
that
looked
was.
like a style of it. Trying
These are
to
the only things I like, man. Okay, I'm trying. I'm
Maxwell Lord
trying.
capturing other people who have witnessed the blur and tries to get all these random images that they only show a
And then
glimpse
the
of
blur
him.
shows up. The blur shows up, and then he still wants to do it. I'm like, are you
And
fucking
did you know
doing
that this is a DC character, Maxwell Lord? They turn him into a metahuman in this show.
it? No, he's not a metahuman, though. I'm like,
Well,
I
he
remember
well,
watching
well
that.
he is. He is a metahuman. He's able to have the ability to go inside people's minds.
But in
That's
the
his
comics,
metahuman.
he isn't. He's just a
No,
smart
I'm talking
guy.
about in this show, in this
Yeah.
version of Maxwell Lord.
I didn't even know that until I read the comics. I'm like, Maxwell Lord is just a human being like Lex Luthor. And I'm just thinking,
Yeah,
what the fuck
he's
is
just like a Walmart version of Lex Luthor in comic books. They brought in Maxwell Lord with Pietro Pascal and Wonder Woman 84, and now they're bringing him another version of him with Sean Gunn in Superman movie.
I liked Pedro
we don't
Pascal in
talk
Wonder Woman.
about Wonder
Life
Woman
is good, but it
more
can
in
be
this.
better.
We don't talk about that movie in this house.
Life is good, but it could be better. But
That's always been a meme that everyone will use.
well, you know what? I will say though, I will say I like him in that movie. I will say he's the best part of Wonder Woman 84, in my opinion. I know y'all probably
He was good, but he was a little overacted.
he was good, but it could be better.
But it could be better.
I will say though, all right. So yeah, I will agree with Matt on one thing. All right, all right. So this think about this, guys. They are scanning people's head to find out who the blur is. So they can build a recognition of his face, and then the blur shows up, and they're still doing it. And I'm like, you don't need this now. He's right there. You are looking.
He's right in front of you face to face, and you're still
Why are you
doing
still
it?
doing that?
I don't get it. Yeah, I don't get it.
It's like in Star Wars, once like in The Force Awakens, once they know Rey has the location of Luke, they no longer need the BB droid. So it'd be like if they took the BB droid, not Rey, and I'm like, she has the location. Why do you need the droid? That's what I'm thinking. It's like, even though in The Force Awakens they actually do the right thing and take Rey and not the droid. But I'm just saying and making that logic.
Well, the droid did show the projection of the map from Luke Skywalker, so she knows the location. But
Yeah.
I think that the logic decision would have been BB-8 to get that because he has the map.
I mean, but I'm just thinking that it makes no sense though. It's like, why are you still going through? Because the whole point of you having all these people here is to build the blur's image so you can identify him.
Exactly, and you're standing with face to face, and you're
he's
still
right there. You can be like, well, I don't need them anymore.
It's like fuck them now. I don't need them anymore.
It's like
But
literally.
I mean, I'm not. But I'm sorry if I'm cutting you off, but I want to say one thing. But I don't like the part where like, oh, am I going to tell Lois or I'm not? Like, come on, are we going down this whole stupid path again with Lana all over again? I mean, I get that I did like, but I will give credit where credit where it's due with Lois understanding that she cannot know about his identity.
Matt,
But I don't. But I feel like it's full of contradiction. But like, what's the point?
this has happened like once or twice before, like in the past couple of seasons, and I've said they really need to shit or get off the pot when it comes to like they need to like divulge this or
Like,
not.
stop playing this stupid roller coaster ride and just get on with it. You either tell her or don't. Like, what are we doing?
Like
Also,
in the words of Jackie Gleason from Honeymooners, come on.
Also, why would an ex-DA who have mob boss connections not be known? Because the shit would have been known the second he decided to run for government or for the DA. Because I'm going to tell you, if you decide to run for any political office, all your demons are coming out of the closet, whether you want it to or not. Okay, I don't care who's in
he'll
there.
be coming out of the closet because he's hiding in the closet.
Yes. There actually is a line in the episode where it says Clark, he said Tess decided to come out of the closet. And I'm just like, I could have put those in my notes. I could have put those in my notes, but I didn't. I was like, I'm not going to, or so I really didn't want to. Because I remember last week, like, kept making Gayville jokes, and I'm just like, oh man. I was like, early, I want so bad to.
2010, where you could get away with something like that and no one would care.
But I'm saying in 20, but even then, like when this guy's running for a public political position, you're telling me, I'm like, we've seen in history, we've seen Donald Trump when he ran in 2016. Remember the Access Hollywood take of him bragging about grabbing him by the pussy? That literally was literally known in October of that 2016. So you're telling me that a guy running for district attorney, even though he's not running for president, he's running for district attorney. You're telling me that literally this guy is not going to be like, that guy, he's a mob boss, right? Yeah. And then his opponent's going to say, hey, yeah, he has mob connections to this club. He goes to this club all the time. It's kind of like a kitty cat club or whatever. Yeah, that he goes there and that's a mob place. Yeah, he's a mob boss. You would, or, even if you could say, well, to be fair, I mean, before Matt rebuttals and says, well, Maxwell Lord could have, covered all that stuff up or something. Well, to be fair, wouldn't there be connection? Like you would still see, like, even Maxwell Lord can't cover his entire, especially if he goes there every week. Someone's gonna do this. But yeah, that was
but he's a fucking gangster, dude. He'll have connections to sweep it under the rug.
I'm just saying, like he's like Maxwell Lord's like, listen here, okay, listen, all right, okay.
Listen here, let me tell you something.
Fake news. I'm not a criminal.
I'm not a criminal. It's fake news. It's all fake news.
I was the best district attorney of all time. No one knows it. Everyone knows it. They love it.
Everyone knows it that I'm a best attorney in Metropolis. Everybody knows.
The blood of the enemy. Well, the enemy within, of got Metropolis, the Blur. We will go.
The Blur's a terrorist. We got to get him out there. We got to make Metropolis great again. He's a terrorist.
Knock the crap out of him.
He's like, which I just think it's really, really crazy that you have a boss. They go from being like a mob boss to them making him work for Maxwell. I'm like, okay, you lost me. You had me at mob boss. I'm like, that's even a reach because I'm like, you're telling me a district attorney can be a mob boss, but then they go from beyond that to like it almost be like he's assassin ninja Viking or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's almost like that logic of like, okay, now he's working for like a metahuman that has superpowers. I'm like, okay, you lost me. You had me, you lost me. Okay. I was like, all right, this is dumb. I'm like, okay. And also, yeah, and of course, there's no way Lois also could hit Clark that hard. She'd break her hand. Like she punches him so hard, he goes.
Well, no. Clark moved his head. He moved his head on purpose to get her to miss that shot, miss that hit, trying to fake it.
I saw the picture. She went.
From a free, yeah, but if you saw the context after they took the snapshot, that looks like he got him right in the face. But no, she missed.
Okay, all right, I'll give you that.
He dodged that shit.
But yeah, this episode is like a turd in the wind.
Yeah, it was a mediocre episode.
Well, yeah, I don't have a ton to add. This episode was just very bizarre. It just felt like we need something to fill in a gap, and that was it.
And we need the douchebag old ex-district attorney to be brought back from Idol episode. Like,
y'all remember
okay.
Michael McKean as Perry White? Pepperidge Farm members. But I've got nothing, so let's go to scores.
There's nothing to add.
Collins, what do you got?
2 out of 10.
That
Ooh.
You hate it that much.
Wow, that low. Wow, I was not.
I'm tempted to give it a 1 out of 10.
You can go 1 if
even
you want.
worse.
I'll go 1.
All right, 1 signed, seal, delivered. Matt.
3.
I'll split the uprights. I'll go 2. A whole lot of nothing going on.
Fuck you, man, Brian. Because I was like 2, and these
You literally
That low, that low.
he
And
gave
I'm
it a
like,
2, and then he switched it to 1, and then you went to 2.
I just want to suit the 2. I was like, I want 2. I'm just gonna get in this.
He's like,
Fate,
did you gaslight him? I
or
feel like you just
Gaslit me,
gaslighted him.
fucker.
no,
Asshole.
I'd go
You
one.
gaslighting asshole.
No,
Yes.
I'd go one if Phelan were here, but Phelan is not here.
Just when you were giving him shit for like, oh wow, really?
Not go.
And then he went 1 and just like, no, I'm gonna go 2. It's like, okay, speaking of that, I'll go 2.
You a dick,
You
right?
just literally just gaslighted Jake in this one.
I'm controlling you like puppets tied up in string.
Right. It's like the guy
You
that
have me
says,
now. You're starting to become the master of gaslighter from every character in Smallville, who are the
Ryan's like,
masters of
I would have done
gaslighter.
that move. I wouldn't have done that move. And so I do this move. And then he goes, I'm actually going to
I
do this.
I guess gaslighting must be fun. It must be fun to gaslight someone.
Ryan's a gaslighter over here.
Ain't it fun living in the real world? Uh, what did you think of these 3 episodes? Let us know in the comments. We would love to read what you have to say. It's a privilege to do this show with these guys every week. Collins, where can the people find you?
They can find me at 3D Movie Cinema, and I will be starting a new podcast after this one next week called Smaller Talk, and me and Matt will host it because we won't be gaslighting ass. We won't be an asshole that gaslights you.
The smallest talk, but
Yeah,
also
the smallest that
shout
Jake
out
has
to
a channel.
if you
It's
haven't
called Smallville. What do we call it? Big Talk.
if you all have not checked out Batman Terry on Jacob's channel, it should be up now the as of the recording of this.
Or
It has not happened yet, but it will be happening on Friday, so be on the lookout for
it's
that.
going to be a big one because we're going to be talking about. We're going to do a watch. We're going to do a watch a commentary on Batman Mask, Batman's Mr. Freeze Sub Zero. But we're also going to give our thoughts on the 2 episodes that out that we watched, Heart of Ice and Deep Freeze. So because those are the 2 episodes that lead into Mr. Freeze Sub Zero. So we're going to be able. So it's going to be like a review of those, and it's going to be like a watch party of that. So it's pretty fun. It's actually going to be. I actually am excited for it because I watched Heart of Ice earlier, and I'm like, it's really good.
Yeah, Heart of Ice is a masterpiece. Matt Wyatt, where can the people find you?
You can find me on my YouTube at Matt Wyatt 92. I put up my new review of The Gorge, and I still got to edit the video for 2024 movies, Nosferatu and The Complete Unknown.
Right, so yeah, stay tuned for all of that. Their links are in the description. Go give them a subscribe. As far as this channel goes, David Lynch Project is ongoing. Talking Silence ongoing. Small Talk every Tuesday. A lot of stuff coming to the channel. And by the time this drops, if my memory serves, I'm going to be reviewing a couple Best Picture winners. And I'm going to be kicking off that series by taking a look at Amadeus. So stay tuned for that. But for Jacob Collins,
Amadeus.
well, that's what I'm going to put at the start of the review when I edit it. So thank you for that one. But for Jacob Collins, for Matt Wyatt, my name is Ryan Cam. For Truth, for
Wait for it.
Justice, for the American Way. Always hold on to Smallville. Me in the future play the clip.
Sharpton for president, y'all. I'm outie.